Yeah, I have to tell you, it says to avoid legal things, tell people that you are recording them. Hey, I'm recording you.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. So see, first of all, who are you?
My name is Eric, but everybody knows me as Buddha.
You're from Illinois, right?
Originally, yeah.
Joe Kankakee.
Yep.
And he's one of, I'd like to say, the forefathers of Midwest BMX.
I was early. I wouldn't say I'm a forefather. I'm saying I was early.
Well, in my opinion, I will tell you, I think a lot of dudes owe half the tricks and talent to guys like you and a few of the other guys that we grew up with.
And so let's talk about the other guys then.
Yeah. Well, that's all the ego boost I'm giving out for you. Is what was up with you in props? Every clip of Rampage Pit was Buddha, but you were always crashing a backflip or a front flip. Like, they never really showed you landing any tricks. See, I rode with you, and you landed plenty of tricks. So I didn't know if this was like some weird old Midwest glitch, I guess, that they just always filmed you crashing.
Not that I mean, I don't know. I get it. You're right. I did seem to get into videos for crashing more than I did it. I mean, maybe when I crashed tricks, it looked better than when I pulled it. Fuck, I don't know.
That was a question that, like, I really didn't have a plan, but then I'm like, why did they always film Buddha crashing? Because I when you rode normally, I didn't see it crash. Maybe it was just at every contest, because.
Well, when I rode in contests, and for whatever reason, when I rode, and okay, let's just say when I rode, I would ride fine, but for either just having a session at a park or for shows, I rode great. Put me in the contest setting though, and I suck. I don't know if it was just the pressure or whatever it was, but me in contests didn't get along. So, a lot, I mean, and let's face it, props or those kind of media outlets, they tend to video and report on contests because the entire sport and everything is based off of competing against each other, which I don't think is the way it should be. I mean, I took a different path. When I realized that the contest path didn't work for me, I went a different direction. Like I mean, it was good for me to do that, but at the same time, like I've been doing this forever. Like I've ridden forever, but yet, hey, Buddha, do you know is this certain guy? Damn, I should. I mean, we're the same age. We've been doing it for 50 freaking years, but I've never met the guy, or I met the guy once, or whatever the case may be. There was somebody that happened, and I was like, damn, dude, we should know each other. Like, we've both been in this forever. We didn't, we'd never met.
We got to grow up in the heyday of wood skate parks, like, and I mean,
that needs to come back.
Growing up at wood parks, like, scrap, pit, and I'm like, dude, fuck, there was like 30, 40 dudes a night we were riding with
easily.
Yeah, like it's hard to fathom because I mean you ride that big Arizona park I see when you go out to ride. There's like 5.
Go. There's 2 skate parks here in Arizona now that are well, I mean there's more than that obviously, but there's 2 main ones that the BMX guys all go to. There's Glendale, which is close to my house now, and then there's Chandler, which is kind of far. So I don't go as often as I was going for quite a bit for a while, but I haven't been going much lately. But Chandler's the one you're thinking of. That's the big one.
That's the bike park, right?
Yeah, it is strictly a bike park, and you go down there now, 5-10 people there, and that's it. Like, but so here's the thing. When it came to, we grew up riding wood ramps, and with riding wood ramps, you would have a guy like me or Jimmy Walker when he was running scrap, or Kaiser when he was running the pit. And we would take, obviously I had Kankakee, that, we would take those parks. And if there was something we didn't like, Moliterno had Rampage. But anyway, going back to that, if we had a ramp we didn't like, or we had a ramp that didn't work, a part of the park that didn't flow right, We would cut that sucker up and fix it.
Oh, man.
The biggest flaw with concrete parks is once you build it, you're stuck with it. You don't get to change it. So, I mean, yeah, it's great. In time, it's going to limit the growth and the expansion that people can have from these skate parks because 10 years from now, Chandler is going to be exactly the same as it is today, which is exactly the same as it was 8 years ago when it was, or I don't know, 10 years ago when it was built. Same thing with Glendale. If they don't bulldoze these parks in, they're going to be exactly the same for God knows how long, and it's just going to, so that there's every park has spots that just don't flow right or whatever. I mean, Kankakee, the one I designed and built, it had it. I mean, it just is what it is.
And a few 17-year-olds who will stay there until 2 in the morning to build them.
Right, Randy, hold that. Randy, build that.
I mean, hell, I think I learned all my power tool talent at a skate park.
Do you have all your fingers?
I still have a numb spot in my thumb from, I don't remember what the hell I did, but I chopped it. I remember it scrap. I think I hit it with a razor knife or something. Still numb on that spot. So,
did I have anything to do with that?
I actually think you did. I think it was the night we pulled like that fucking all-nighter from hell. You had just bought the Huffy rig and you put it inside scrap and we were painting it till like fucking 7 in the morning, and then we started building ramps. You described wood skate parks as I would describe dirt jumps, which I think is something people don't think anymore. So now, for some of the viewers here, I'm going to drop these names of Kankakee Skate Park, the YMCA, Joliet Challenge Park, which you didn't get enough time to play with that one, McHenry, and your legacy to me, Scrap. What drove you to keep...
I didn't build Scrap.
Well, no, but like I wouldn't say that, but for me, like a lot of the ramps there, I helped you build. It was, you know what I mean? Like we built them together. So McHenry and on Challenge Park, I think I helped you at Challenge and Kankakee at some point of once another. But like, what drove you to build them? Like, what gave you the idea for design? Was it like courses you've seen elsewhere, or just were you thinking like the flow mentality, like you said, like trying to? I mean, because like I know like Kankakee, McHenry, and Joliet, like were very fluid everywhere you went. So like, what gave you those ideas when you were building these parks?
The first one I really designed and built was Kankakee. That one, and basically, if you look at that park, when you walked in, there was like the little building there where you could get paddle or whatever on your left, but to the right was the mini ramp.
Yeah,
and you had to walk in behind the mini ramp. Well, so mini ramp, box jump, and big wall ride was like the wall ride, box jump, and mini ramp. It was like a 90-degree angle. So I built it. If you look back at the Oklahoma contest, where I don't know, mid '90s Oklahoma,
the blue ramp, the old Hoffman blue ramps,
the Hoffman ones, yeah. So if you look at what he did, he was actually a mirror image of that. So you had think about it: wall ride, box jump, mini ramp, and you hipped at Hoffman's Park. You hipped to the right to get into the mini ramp. At Kankakee, you hipped to the left. And the whole reason why I did that is because I turned right to left. I wanted that that flow my way.
Yeah.
I was like, Hoffman's Park's great and all, but it turns the wrong way. So the whole idea with Kankakee was to make it to where you could flow around the whole park. So you had the one line, you had the 90-degree hip into the mini ramp, and then out of the mini ramp from the other side, I made that like a triangle back to the wall ride. Very simple geometry. But so I figured like, okay, so what am I going to put on that other side of the triangle? That's where we had came up with this ramp we called the piano box. Yeah, and that ramp was an accident. We had a bike shop in Kankakee where we built this ramp, and we literally took a shelving unit that was some shelving unit made out of 2x4s and crappy ass plywood. And one of the kids had a 4-foot tall spine. So we cut the shelf off to match up with the size of the spine. And then we made a transition for the other side, whatever the rest of the height was for that shelf. We put it down in front, make like a little sub box. It ended up being like 2 foot tall. So the shelf we cut off must have been 6 foot tall, because it ended up being 2 foot, a 2 foot deck, a 2 foot little wall, and then a 2 foot deck, and then the other side of the side of the spine on the other side. Yep. So it ended up being like this, this step thing, and we used to jump that thing, when it was in that bike shop, we were jumping it like a box jump, and we were just using it for all this stuff. But I was like, if I take it and turn it to go along the long way, I'll have a grind box, and you have all kinds of different stuff. And so the first thing we made there at Kankakee was a 2 foot and 4 foot. Ended up changing it to being 3 foot and 5 foot, which then worked out a lot.
The big box there was a 5 foot tall box, right?
5 foot.
And then the rhythm you built with no vert wall, which I hate you for because I had to learn wall rides there and it scared the shit out of me.
Made a man out of you.
That ain't the only trick that you made a man out of me on.
Here's an idea I had back then. This is when Scrap had that, like, they took the vert ramp and they put like this big, huge 10-foot transition to like a transition to wall. So it was real.
Oh, is this when it was vert ramp, the quarter vert wall?
Yes.
Like when we first changed the vert wall to the mellower transition? Okay.
And it was like a super mellow transition. You could go to the top of the wall.
Yeah, that thing was sick.
You'd come down going 9 million miles an hour. So I told Jimmy, I said, I looked down and go, Jimmy, like, we got to change this. I said, we got this big wall that we're getting 9,000 miles an hour off of. I said, we're coming to this little 5 foot tall box jump that's got a 10-foot deck on it. And, we can all over jump the thing by 10 feet. I told him, I said, dude, we've got the option to make as much speed as we want. I said, let me build a 6 foot tall box jump, 2 box rhythm going back the other way. This is what I wanted to build out of that. So you'd have a 6 foot tall, 12 foot wide box jump. It would be a step up to like a 7.5 foot tall roller landing, so you could pump it to get speed for the second box jump, which would be 6 foot tall with like a 14-foot deck. Oh, it never happened. But this is what I wanted. This was the idea I had. Like, I had this idea. But think about that. We would have had 6 foot tall rhythm section, which would have been 15 years ahead of everybody else.
What was your favorite part?
Kankakee. Yeah. Kankakee was always my favorite because, for one, I designed it like literally from, it
was your child.
Yeah, it was my brainchild. The thing about Kankakee is it never got finished. So like all of the ramps, like the piano box, remember how it had a there was the 3 foot side and the 5 foot side, and it was 16 foot wide. But those transitions came off and went to the ground. And then off of the ends, there was I think there were 6 foot wide transitions that you could jump up. Yeah, you could go up, end it. I always wanted to take that and pyramid that in. The problem was the YMCA didn't have any money to do it. So, you can't make wooden ramps appear out of nothing. So I did everything I could to make it happen. But it just, I for what we had, dude, we had such a great park. Dude, but
so what do you think if tomorrow you had your riding level of your peak, but we had the skate parks back of late 90s, early 2000s? Do you think they'd be fun still, and you'd still find lines?
Oh God, yeah. I've said for years that I want to help someone build another skate park, but I want to build Kankakee all over again. A 6 foot tall mini ramp, a 12 foot tall vert ramp, all the street stuff, the triangle shaped flowability, the rhythm section. I want to see somebody build a wooden rhythm section. Now everything is either concrete or if it's dirt, it's 8 foot tall with a 32 foot long jump. I'm sorry. I'm pushing 50 years old. I'm not about to even send myself on that. No. Give me something nice and nice and simple that I can deal with.
Do you support we all support BMX, but the direction tricks have gone.